It's impossible to stand in one place after this video. I will give a short introduction. Why Rijeka, why diversities, why changing societies. I'm proud that I was born in Split, and that's true that it's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, but I'm proud to present Rijeka, which is one of the most ugliest beautiful cities in the world, as you can see in this video and in this presentation. This is a typical Rijeka skyline with something Austro-Hungarian, something post-industrial, and something ugly communism, brutalism, high-risers with a lot of people living inside. Why diversity? Rijeka is 15 minutes to Slovenia, 40 minutes to Italy. Rijeka was part of 7 states from end of World War I till 1991. Rijeka was, this year we're celebrating 300 years that Rijeka became free royal port of Austro-Hungarian Empire. People from Italy, I think there are a lot of people from Italy here, can compare Rijeka with Trieste. The Trieste is most similar city to Rijeka, some kind of mental sister cities. We have 22 national minorities in Rijeka. Italian minority and Serbian minority are constitutional. That means that they have right to have deputy in city council and deputy mayor position. And it's complicated to live in such a city. I think that complication is beautiful. That complication is source to create such a video, which creates a lot of controversy in the last 10 days, but that controversy creates a lot of clicks on YouTube. People think that is not such a true, because we have beautiful beaches, beautiful heritage, beautiful, but we somehow decided not to present beautiful. You have to come to Rijeka to have beaches, restaurants, and everything, blah, 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 boring tourism. But we really want to have stress on individual diversity. Rijeka is, at the same time, city of one of the biggest carnivals in Europe. We really know what is individual, what is to pretend to be some other individual, and we think that this moment in European and Mediterranean life is important to care about diversity. One more reason why this is so ugly, because we are real changing society. Rijeka was hardcore port and industrial town. We are not more industrial town. Even whole industry is dead. We are trying to find some new way of life. I think it's enough for introduction, and now something really organized and full of content. My colleague Irena, and welcome to Rijeka next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan, for this great introduction of our city. My name is Irena, and first of all, thank you. Thank to the organizers, thank to all of you for inviting us, for giving us room to present this wonderful project. As Ivan said, this picture, the film and this first slide really illustrate what Rijeka is. This beautiful Baroque theater in the middle with the industrial scenery behind and the socialist high-rise buildings next to it. So this wonderful mixture all squeezed in the Kvarner Bay. But I hope you'll come to Rijeka and visit it. 1985, Melina Mercouri, at that time she was Greek Minister of Culture, but also a very important figure in the European Commission. Her dream was that Europe is not just a political project, it is not just an economical project, but it's really also a cultural project. She understood that culture is the glue that links us together, that keeps us together. She also understood that maybe one of the biggest richness in Europe is its culture, its diversity, its heritage, its multiple languages, traditions, all kind of people and their customs and what they have to share. So her idea was to highlight this richness through project, through an initiative, and that initiative is European Capital of Culture. So in 1985, first 2 cities were the holders of this title. Up to now, more than 60 cities in Europe were designated European Capitals of Culture. In order to be a city European Capital of Culture, of course, your country has to be a member of the European Union. When Croatia entered, Rijeka immediately said, we have to compete. This is a great opportunity for our city. And here we are today. In 2020, Rijeka is going to be the first Croatian European Capital of Culture. We are sharing this title with Galway city in Ireland, who is our partner, who in 2020 is also going to talk about their culture and their richness. For us, this is also a unique opportunity because in 2020, Croatia will be presiding the Council of the European Union. Great opportunity to share, to put not just Rijeka in the spotlight, but the whole of Croatia and its culture, its tradition. Rijeka competed among 9 cities in Croatia, and I think that we won the title because we said not only why we deserve it, but why we need it. Even try to explain you this richness, also the problems that Rijeka have, from industries that are gone to trying to define and redefine its identity. We think that culture has to play a big role in the future of our city. Every European Capital of Culture has its narrative, its story. Our is under the slogan of Port of Diversity, very convenient for your conference as well. But Rijeka is the city that is really diverse. We are not only boasting that we are a diverse city, we are also questioning what is diversity today. Are we ready as a city for this diversity? Are we as a Europe ready for this diversity? What does it mean for us and how are we supporting diversity? Our program is motivated by 3 topics, and these are water, work and migrations. I don't have time now to explain it, but these 3 words really talk about Rijeka, about its history. In Italian, Rijeka is fiume, so that tells you fiume, river. There's a river flowing through our city. It has always been a worker city, and of course a city of migrations. But these 3 topics also link us with issues that we think are really important for Europe and the world today. Every European Capital of Culture starts with a big spectacle. I was just talking before about Matera. We recently witnessed the wonderful opening in Matera and the wonderful opening ceremony. On the 1st of February, I hope you will all be in Rijeka to see our opening ceremony. But it's not only going to be firework, it's going to be a beginning of 1 year of more than 1,000 programs for all audiences and in all artistic genres. Carnival was already mentioned. Carnival tradition is Rijeka is really strong. We have one of the biggest carnival parades in Croatia and one of the top carnival events in Europe. The opening also will happen in the period of Carnival next year. Carnival is about urban dressing up, having fun, a big feast, but it's also about traditional carnival masks and rides like this one on the slide that we are going to show to the rest of the Europe. Our program will not only happen in Rijeka, but around the county. We are situated in the county of littoral and mountains. And it is important for us to spread cultural activities from the city and its center to the very rims of this county. One of the programs, it's called Lungomare, along the coast, and it will be a new cultural tourism route. 10 contemporary arts installations on different points on the coast of Kvarner and its island that will talk also about this community. And this will again highlight the richness of the county and the Kvarner region. One of the points that will be highlighted in through this program line is the fish market in Rijeka, beautiful in itself, but we have invited a Czech artist to create a light installation in this space. This is just an example of the artistic new pieces of art that will happen through this program line. Another important project that will happen in the region is called 27 Neighborhoods. The communities have really the main word here. They are creating programs and are linking themselves with the 27 points in Europe to create a new cultural network. How this will look in the end, it's going to be a big festival of communities. Everything from the Festival of Kites to Accordion Festival to reading stories. We are talking about really small places in Rijeka, but also in the mountain region and on the islands. Our program is also about our history. You heard that in the last 100 of years, 7 states passed through Rijeka, different governments, different regimes. We think it's very important to give artists the floor to talk about that, to talk about this power. And they will talk about it through the programs on the Tito's yacht, Galeb, that is going to be restored and become a new floating museum in the city center. They were going to talk about it through exhibitions like the one that will happen in the Governor's Palace built by Hungarians, but also famous as a house where the Nuncio lived, where he had his one-year regime in Rijeka. Artists will talk about it through performing arts, from Wagner to wonderful piece that is being created by Phoniadakis, a Greek choreographer, or the piece that we will see in Rijeka in 2020, created by the Need Company, a famous drama company in Europe. Rijeka is also about minorities. 22 minorities and ethnic groups live in Rijeka. We have created a new festival of world music and food, where they have a space to talk about their culture, but also to link with other minorities and other topics around migrations. Klimt was one of the migrants who traveled in Europe in his time, and he happened to live in Rijeka and work in Rijeka for some time, and he left us a wonderful ceiling frescoes in our National Theatre. If you'll be in Rijeka in 2020, you will be able to see a nice exhibition about unknown Klimt. I'm sure you've visited an exhibition about Klimt, but not this one. Rijeka is also about work. We have a whole program line that is called Dopo Lavoro, after work. What is work nowadays? How artificial intelligence is influencing our life? What will it mean for the artist and for the artistic work? So we will talk about that. We will again invite artists to present this topic through exhibitions, through books, but also through big street spectacles like this one. This is a huge hand that is going to crash cars and containers on the street. I'm sure the citizens of Rijeka are going to love this. Talking about future, of course, we need to talk about children. Rijeka and the region that we live in is a very aging region. The population is aging, but also people are leaving. It's a big problem that we are facing, problem that is happening around Europe as well. So talking about kids, but also giving them space to create, not just to create for them, but giving them space to create is something that we want to achieve through this program. Our program line about kids is called Children's House, and we will have everything from different workshops, media literacy workshops, puppet shows, all kind of street performances, workshops with teachers, with pedagogues, etc. This slide, I don't know if you recognize it, but it's about a weird professor. It's called Baltazar. Baltazar was a cartoon figure created in the 70s by the famous Zagreb animation school, and it was a very well-known animation series. Why Baltazar? Why Rijeka? Because its author, Croatian artist Bourek, was inspired by Rijeka city line, and this is actually Rijeka in his psychedelic cartoon series. In 2020, Rijeka is going to become Baltazar city. We will use this character and inserted into the kids program in many ways. Also, publishing events, a lot of reading events, a lot of events around book. As I told you, a lot of events around media literacy. We heard how important this is for nowadays society. Rijeka is a changing city in terms of urbanism, urban planning, and architecture as well. In this program line called Sweet and Salt, we are giving the floor to urban planners and architects who are proposing a number of pavilions. The red dots that you see on the slides are going to be the pavilions in the industrial zone in Rijeka, who will invite visitors and citizens to rediscover this zone and help us redefine it. Pavilions are going to be anything from places to contemplate, to pop-up swimming pools, to new kindergartens on the city pier. And pavilions are going to be created from famous architectural names from around the world, but also by well-known Croatian architects. And we hope they will inspire the policymakers and the politicians to really change and give a new face to the city after 2020. Every European culture is also about infrastructure. We are not building anything new, but we will be giving new life to a number of former industrial buildings. We are talking about 27,000 square meters that are going to be renewed for cultural purposes. This is one of the biggest cultural infrastructure projects in Croatia, a former industrial part of the city that will become a new cultural quarter and will house existing cultural institutions in Rijeka, from City Library to Children's House to Museum of Contemporary Arts and City Museum. This is an example from a wonderful industrial Baroque building in the sugar refinery that will open its doors in the 20s. Children's House, a new space that has already been opened that is a space for our direct interaction with the citizens and a number of community projects. So Rijeka is about wonderful artistic and cultural program. It's about infrastructure, but it is also about what we call human structure. And we think when we say human structure, it's about capacity buildings, it's about creating new networks, it's about opening the city and leaving its people new skills for the future of Rijeka. And this is, I would say, one of our most important legacies. Once again, program is very complex. I have given you just a little bit of taste of it, but I really hope to see all of you in Rijeka in 2020. Don't forget, the opening is on the 1st of February 2020. Welcome. Thank you so much.